The NASA Exodus. What it means for the future of space exploration. Imagine a world where the very people who have dedicated their lives to exploring the stars are leaving NASA in droves, questioning the future of space exploration as we know it. But here's where it gets controversial. Some experts argue that the exodus of NASA's brightest minds could actually be a blessing in disguise, pushing the agency to innovate and adapt in ways it never has before. If you're among the countless NASA employees considering a departure, you're not alone. You're part of a massive wave of talent that's leaving the agency. And the question on everyone's mind is, what happens next? Welcome to Politico Pro Space, where the headlines are as fast-paced as a rocket launch. If your LinkedIn is buzzing with resignations from NASA, you're not alone. Let's dive into the numbers and explore what this exodus means for the future of space exploration. So, if you're leaving NASA, what's your next move? Reach out to me at Politico.com or on X at Samuel Scove. I'm here to listen, share your stories, and help make sense of this unprecedented moment in space history. And while we're on the topic, did you know this newsletter is free for the next few weeks? After that, only Politico Pro subscribers will have access. Recent documents reveal that a staggering 1 in 5 NASA staff, including top scientists, engineers, and senior managers, are planning to leave by a Friday deadline. This adds up to an extra 1,000 staff members departing on top of the 2,000 who already left in July. But what will this mean for NASA's future? Will the loss of such valuable expertise hinder our progress in space exploration? Or, as some argue, will it spark a new era of innovation and adaptation? The exodus is particularly concerning, given that 80% of those leaving are at the highest levels of the government pay scale. These are the people tasked with leading missions to Mars, designing rockets, and pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. Their departure could leave a gaping hole in NASA's institutional knowledge, crucial for projects like landing astronauts on the Moon and Mars. The impact is felt across NASA's major centers. Goddard Space Flight Center, a hub for science missions, is hit the hardest, with over 800 staff preparing to leave. This center is responsible for space probes and groundbreaking initiatives like infrared space telescopes. The proposed budget cuts to NASA's science spending by almost half only exacerbate the problem. The loss of talent at Johnson Space Center, home to human spaceflight operations, could delay the White House's ambitious plans to land humans on Mars. The question is, can NASA adapt quickly enough to fill the void left by departing experts? The exodus may not be over yet. The White House's 2026 budget proposal asks NASA to cut more than 5,000 staff. The agency has already met most of that target, but if Congress objects, more cuts could be on the horizon. Some experts argue that this could be a wake-up call for NASA, pushing the agency to innovate and adapt in ways it never has before. Others worry that the loss of institutional knowledge could set back decades of progress. So, what do you think? Is this exodus a sign of doom for NASA or a catalyst for change? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the complexities of the NASA exodus. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and conversations about the future of space exploration. And remember, your voice matters. Let's keep the conversation going. NASA workforce reduction, 20% departure, and its impact on space exploration. Imagine a future where space exploration takes a giant leap backward. That's the unsettling reality facing NASA, as approximately 20% of its workforce is set to exit the agency, a revelation confirmed by a NASA spokesperson to Reuters on Friday. This translates to roughly 3,870 employees potentially leaving, though the exact number may fluctuate in the days and weeks ahead. Post-compartures, NASA's workforce will dwindle to around 14,000. This seismic shift coincides with the Trump administration's push for staff reductions and mounting worries over drastic budget slashes for the agency. Safety remains our paramount concern as we strive to become a more streamlined and efficient organization, all while ensuring we maintain our capability to usher in a golden era of exploration and innovation, including missions to the Moon and Mars, declared NASA spokesperson Cheryl Warner, as reported by CBS News. But here's where it gets controversial. The White House has proposed slashing NASA's science budget by nearly half. We are losing some of the brightest minds of our generation, lamented Democratic leader George Whitesides, a former NASA chief of staff, and a key member of the House committee overseeing the agency. This will have dire consequences for decades to come, he told Politico. Currently, NASA employs about 7 to 1,000 individuals, but a staggering 80% of those expected to leave are senior officials. These are the top-tier leaders who helm major engineering projects such as the Mars rover missions. The exodus would strip NASA of highly specialized, irreplaceable knowledge essential to fulfilling our mission, warned NASA Administrator Sean Duffy. Key facilities like the Johnson Space Center, NASA headquarters, Langley Research Center, Kennedy Space Center, and Marshall Space Flight Center are each projected to lose around 400 employees, according to Politico. These centers are the backbone of NASA's human spaceflight operations, aviation research, rocket launches, and engineering endeavors. Without them, the agency would be unable to operate the International Space Station, launch payloads into orbit, or plan lunar missions. The Goddard Space Flight Center, a pivotal part of NASA, is poised to see nearly 800 of its 3,000 staff members depart. This center is crucial for space probes and significant projects like infrared space telescopes. And this is the part most people miss. The impact of these losses extends far beyond numbers. It threatens the very foundation of our space exploration capabilities. Are we willing to risk our future in space for short-term budget gains? Share your thoughts below. Do you agree or disagree with these drastic measures?